सब्सक्राइब कीजिए लर्न इन्फिनिटी यूट्यूब चैनल को और बेल आइकॉन को ऑल पर सेट कीजिए ताकि हमारा नया वीडियोस का नोटिफिकेशन आपको जल्द ही मिल जाए।
Hello students, I hope all of you are well. So today I will not take too much time in this introduction period. I will go to the main topic today. Okay. So last day I discussed about the movements of the earth. I told you the introductions also, and the first thing I was telling about that the imaginary lines, right? Now today I am going to start a new topic, that is the landforms of the earth. Okay. This is really a huge topic and also it's too much important topic, isn't it? So landforms of the earth. You know, on this total solar system, there is only the earth which is having life. It is the life existing planet. So how we came here and how these all landforms formed, how the structure of the earth formed, all these things are very much important to know, right? So today's topic is landforms of the earth. So on which basis I will focus on it? See, first of all, today I will go to discuss about the theme of this topic, of this chapter, landforms of the earth, then the reason behind the physiographic design, why this type of various kind of landforms originated. Why? What is the reason behind it? How it formed? Okay. So everything I will go to discuss in this class. Then the main landforms, that is the mountains, plains, plateaus, coastal islands and the desert lands. Right. So today I am going to discuss on these topics. Now let us start. First of all, we have to know that what is called the landforms. You all have read about the Big Bang Theory, isn't it? What is that Big Bang Theory? Big Bang Theory actually discuss or describe the origin of the universe, right? How the universe originated and how the planets formed, everything is discussed in that theory. So many long years back, when the planets were formed, that time how the landform was. There was so many story. Actually, it is scientific reasons also there, right? I am not going to discuss that vast topic. Later one day I will discuss on that topic also. But today the landforms only I will focus, right? So when the earth was originated, at that first time it was totally a very hot fireball, right? After so many long years, it comes contact with atmosphere and then it cools down. After that, the landforms started to originate. Okay, how? You know that the earth is always moving, right? It is moving object, heavenly bodies. It's always moving on its axis. That is the rotation and revolution happens because the earth is revolved around the sun, right? So due to these two types of movements, these landforms started to form. Okay. Now, at that time, there was a huge landmass, only one huge landmass according to the Big Bang Theory. Okay. It is known as Pangaea. What it is known? It is known as Pangaea. Pangaea means this is called a supercontinent. When the earth was originates, at that time it was only a supercontinent, a huge continent, okay? But later, so many years and so many times later, when it comes to contact with the atmosphere and the other bodies of the universe, then it, due to the movement of the earth, these total huge supercontinents divided into 7 continents. You know the 7 continents name, right? Now, on this Pangaea, this landmass, how it formed into different landforms, that is our topic. Okay, so let us discuss about how it happens. The geographers have divided this landforms of the Earth series into three features. Okay, three features. The first order relief feature. First order relief feature means when the Earth was originated, at that time how it was, what was there on the surface of the Earth. There was only the continents and the oceans, right? Now second order, after the movement of the Earth continuously, some earthquakes, some type of volcanic eruptions happened, and then the mountains, plateaus, plains, this kind of landforms formed. Okay. Now come to the third order. What is the third order relief features? Third order relief features is the topmost portion. Okay, you know that mountain is a higher raised land and it is having a high peak, right? So that mountain peaks, hills, valley, these are formed by these second order relief features, okay, due to the movement of these things. So this was basically the main three orders of this landform of the Earth, right? Now we have to know, I have told you that today I am going to tell you the reasons that how these mountains and all these things, landforms formed, right? What is the story behind it? Everything has a reason, right? You are also reading science. You know what is science. In the science there are so many causes and reasons, and the results is also defined, isn't it? Everything has an actions and reactions. Now we are going to the story behind how the landforms originated. This is basically happened due to the movement of the Earth. Why? Due to the movement of the Earth. Okay. Now these movements or these differences happen into two parts, right? That is the, first of all, we can call it like endogenic force. Two reasons, okay? Endogenic force. Another one is exogenic force, okay? Exogenic force. Now, why this movement of the Earth happens? That is the endogenetic force. Endogenetic force and the exogenetic force. Now I am going to tell you about this. What is this endogenetic force? All of you heard that internal, right? Internal force. This also termed as internal force. You know, inside the Earth there is three layers, right? Due to the movement of the Earth, there is three layers formed. First, where we are living, at the topmost layer where we can find the soil, that is called crust, right? And after that crust layer, there is some rocks, okay? Solid molten rocks mixed up. That is called mantle. And then if we go to the inner part of the Earth, extreme inner part, it is called core. In the core region, which thing we can find? In that core region, we can find that the liquid form of iron and nickel, the metals, okay? These two metals we can find in a lava form, liquid form, okay? See students, if this is our Earth, and if I will cut it a little bit, a little corner, then you can see these three layers, okay? These three layers. This outer portion where I have colored yellow color, it is the crust portion, okay? The outer part, outer layer of the Earth. Then the second layer, it is called mantle. Here we can see the molten rocks, okay? Molten rocks. And extremely, in this particular extreme core region, we can see here the liquid metals, okay? Basically nickel and iron, these two things. These two metals in a liquid form, we can find it here, okay? And outside the Earth, you can know there is the greenery, various kinds of landforms, right? So this is the inner part. It means the endogenetic force or internal force. Okay, this is called endogenetic force or internal force. Why is it calling force? Because in this particular region, means inside the earth, there is also movements going on. Okay, inside the earth there is tectonic plates, and these tectonic plates are always moving. Okay, these are always moving. Now, due to that movement, it is happening some volcanic eruptions. Sometimes it happens earthquake, right? A huge vibrations. We also can experience on that. So these movements are actually happen this endogenetic force. Now, for this reason, the lands are vibrating, right? So when it is vibrating, it definitely changed into its shapes. Suppose the land is like flat, okay? If it is a flat, like this type of land is there, and due to this endogenetic force or the internal force of the earth, suddenly a pressure comes from both sides. It can possible from comes both sides, and this land then starting to compress, and then it will just raised, okay, raised land. So now you can see the flat land turned into a raised land and the surroundings, isn't it? So this way mountains formed. Okay, so after this movement, endogenetic movements, then some landforms also are formed. Okay, now we have to know about more. The force coming from within the earth is called the endogenetic force. I have told you this thing. The force gives birth to various types of relief features on the earth's surface. So this is the reason that when the vibrations and the movement compressing each other, that time the land is getting too much compressive power, compressive force, and then it starts to either raised land, sometimes also it happens lower land. Okay, sometimes due to the force also it turns into a lower land. Okay, so this way the mountains formed and the lowland, what is called valleys also formed, right? And some places just like the plain land remains. So it is plain, northern plain also we know about that, right? So this is the endogenetic force. Now comes to the exogenetic force. What is it? Exogenetic force is the outer or the external force. Okay, the exogenetic force means the external force which derive their strength from the earth's exterior part or originate within the earth's atmosphere. You know that when a heavy windstorm is happening, occurs, at that time how much pressure, how much compresses in that wind? All of we have experienced on the like cyclones, tornadoes, right? So this environment, this atmosphere is having also its own pressure, okay, own force. That is called exogenetic force or the external force. Okay. Now heavy rainfall, that is also a reason of exogenetic force. Continuously heavy rainfall is occurring due to the climatic condition of such a place, right? So due to the heavy rainfall, what happens? The natural disaster, flood will happen, and if flood and heavy rainfall will continuing, the place where the rainfall is falling, at that particular place the soil will be very much wet. Now what happened? It will start to soil erosion, right? And from that particular place, when the soil erosion will happen, the soils and the upper parts of the particles will flow away with the water, and another area it will store, right? Then again the landforms formed, isn't it? I hope up to this everybody understood. Now let us tell you regarding some main topic. Okay. So today It is a huge topic. As I told you that this is a huge topic, the landforms of the earth. So today I am just going to tell you about the mountain. Okay, the mountain. First of all, we should know what is called mountains, right? So what is called mountains? A mountain is a high raised land than the surroundings and which is having a steep slope and the highest peak. Okay. So once again I am repeating, what is called mountain? A mountain is a high raised land which is having a steep slope than the surroundings, right? You can understand this. This is the surrounding area, right? This is the surrounding area. Now it is higher land, going to high raised land. At the top of it, there is the peak. We are calling it peak. So at this point, it is too much high, and then there is also the slope, right? Slope, ups and downs on this landform, right? Now, these mountains, how it formed? I have already told you that due to the two forces, exogenetic and endogenetic, right? Now today we are going to learn about that, how these exogenetic or endogenetic forces occurs. Okay, let us discuss about, due to the endogenetic force, means internal force, two types of landforms happen, two types of compression occurs. Okay, as I told you, from this side the force is there, from this side the force is there. Okay, now what happened? This is a plain land. Suddenly it will get stuck and it will start to raise the land. Okay, again another thing also we can see, from the both sides the force is coming, so the land becoming lower, it's going to low down. So sometimes the land is bent up, sometimes it's bent down. So why it is happening? Due to the endogenetic force. Okay, that's why this kind of mountains and the landforms occur. Okay, now which landform is going to raise? This is called mountain. Which kind of mountain it is called? This is called the fold mountain. What it is called? The fold mountain. Okay, because if you will take a flat paper and then suddenly you are just pressing it from both sides, what will happen? Maybe it will, in the middle of the paper, it will just bend up, or it also happens bent down, right, in the middle of the paper, isn't it? Same things happens with our landforms also. So this is called fold mountains, right? Now there is also another kind of landform occurs when this endogenetic force happens. Let me explain that thing. Endogenetic force, I have told you that the heavy rainfall is happening continuously. Sometimes the rivers are flowing over this landform areas. So when it is going through these areas, it is the water is also having its force, own force it is having. So when it is down, just going down, it carrying the particles of the rocks, the minerals, and then it starts to flow. Okay, and when it comes to the plain land, you can see when it comes to the plain land, reaches to the plain land, then the particles or the minerals, they will store over here, because the flow, the speed of the flow of water here, it decreased, right, because it is a plain land. Now that minerals they are putting here, storing here. So what will happen? If day by day these minerals, these all particles will store at this plain land, definitely there will be some type of landform will form, like a plateau, right? This is called the Black Forest Mountain, or we can also call that this is due to the faulting reason, faulting. It is called fault and this is called faulting. or one example we can call it black forest, right? This kind of mountains formed when these two forces are working together. Okay dear? So now we have to know about the characteristics of mountains. What is the characteristics of mountains? Then we will have to read about the importance of mountains. Okay? So what is the characteristics? Mountains have a broad base. Okay? Broad base. How the mountain looks like? Like this. It is having a broad base. Base means at the bottom pole. Okay? This is called base. This is called base point of the mountain. So, the bottom portion is called the base point. And it is having a high peak. This is called the peak, which is at the most highest portion. It is called peak. And there is slope. Slope means all of you have gone to the park where so many like physical activity we can do. Some kids are playing on the slippery area, right? So it is having a steep slope. The mountain is having also steep slope, right? Then it is moderate climate. It is having a moderate climate. As also I told you that each and every places, the earth is always spinning on its axis and the sun rays fall on that earth. Okay. So at a time, whole earth cannot receive the sunlight, right? And as also the earth is tilted on its axis, 23.5 degrees. So the sunlight falls on most of the equator to Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn portion, right? From equator to the Tropic of Cancer and from equator to the Tropic of Capricorn. Mostly the sunlight falls on it. And after that, there is temperate zones. You know that? So, which is situated or lies in the North Pole and South Pole. Basically, these two parts are not receiving the sunlight directly. So, the climate of that particular places will be very much mild, right? Cold. As if I can give you an example that if you visited to any Himalayan region, any mountainous state in the Himalayan region, suppose we will discuss about Jammu Kashmir. So Jammu Kashmir, it is in the winter time, it is totally full of snow, covering by snow, right? But in the summer time, there is the melting snow, mild climate. They are not feeling too much hot. How much we are experiencing, how much the southern part of our country people will experiencing, how much hot temperature is there. The Jammu Kashmir people are not experiencing that kind of temperature, right? Because the temperature is lower there. Why? Because the sun rays fall on the plain land and the water bodies area directly. Very easily the plain land and the sea area got heated. Okay, it absorbs the heat very fast. But the highest peak of the mountainous area, it actually cannot receive the sunlight directly, sun hits directly, so the temperature here is not too much high, it's decreased. Okay, sometimes during the winter time, the temperature is going to -degree. Okay, so this is the climate of the mountainous region. Then what else? Mountains are the storehouse of glaciers, which are the main source of water for the rivers. You know that the rivers are originated from the mountain. Most of the rivers are originated from the mountains. How they originate? You heard about the glaciers. What is called glaciers? Glacier is actually a moving mass of ice. Okay? Moving mass of ice. Now, this moving mass of ice means it is a huge mass of ice. Now, when the whole top portions or the peak portions is totally covered by snow. Okay? But when the sunlight falls on this particular part, the snow starts to melt and also a huge amount of ice started to flow with the water, melting water. Okay? So when it starts to melt, that glaciers originates the river. Okay, from the glaciers, the rivers are originating. The perennial rivers. What is that perennial rivers? The rivers which is having water throughout the year. Okay, throughout the year it is having water. It's not depend on rainfall water. Okay, so glaciers are also there. So basically the rivers are getting water from the mountain. So it is the source of water, right? Now what next? The mountain ranges are usually found parallel to each other. I have shown you here the mountains how it's arranged. It arranged parallelly, means side by side. Okay, side by side. If any particular region, mountainous region you are visiting, at that particular place you can't see only one mountain is standing. Okay, there is a number of mountains, a series of mountains arranged there. The whole area, the whole land at that particular region is totally full of mountains. Some mountains are higher, some are smaller than it. Okay, these was the main characteristics of the mountains. Now let us know how many types of mountains are there. Already I have discussed about the fold mountain, right? The fold mountain I have already discussed that how it formed. Fold mountain is also divided into two parts, two periods. That is the old fold mountain and the young fold mountain. Okay? So I have told you the importance of the mountains regions. Okay? Now let us discuss about the types of mountains. How many types of mountains are there? Basically, the geographers, according to its formation, they divided into four types. Old fold mountain, young fold mountain, volcanic mountain and block mountain. Okay, four types of mountains are there. Now what is this old fold mountain? Old fold mountain is actually the term you can easily understand. Old means very earlier, right? So those mountains which formed by the pressure or the forces of endogenetic nature of the earth. So when mountains formed so many years back, that is actually defined as old fold mountains. Okay. Now what will be the example of old fold mountains? That is, you can tell the Urals. Okay. Next we can call also the Andes, the Alps. This kind of mountains are included in this old fold mountains. These are very earlier formed. Okay. Now comes to the young fold mountain. Young fold, you can easily understand, if it is old means so many earlier it formed. Definitely, just recently, movement is never stopped, right? Movement is always continuously going on. So due to the movement, now also few landforms are originated, right? So just recently, which mountains are formed? Those are in the young fold mountain, like the Himalaya. The great example I can tell it, the Himalaya. Himalaya is young fold mountain. Okay, comes to the volcanic mountain. Volcanoes. Just starting of this today's class, I told you that some volcanic eruptions happen. Why? Because due to the movement of the internal part of the earth. Okay, the lava portion or the core portion. In the core area, when the tectonic plates are moving, the core area, there is full of magma, right? Liquid form of iron and nickel. This magma, actually by the force of the internal part of earth, it tries to just come out, okay, from the inner part, right? So it creates a passage, that how it comes to the outer surface of the earth, and then the hot magma comes out through a passage called vent, and then it spread outer surface of the earth. So when this kind of lava comes out, and then after so many years it became solidified and harder, and then it turns into a mountain, is called the volcanic. So what is the volcanic mountain? You can see Kilimanjaro is a mountain which is formed by the volcanic eruptions. Okay. Now comes to the block mountain. What is that block mountain? See, block mountain is actually formed due to the faulting. is happening, and sometimes the rivers are just flowing down. So when the river is flowing from the mountain, suppose it is a river, okay, and it originates from a mountain peak and then it starts to flow. Now what happens when it comes down in this particular region? It breaks the particle of rocks, right? So after breaking it, it carries away, right? It carries the all particles of the rocks and minerals through this path, and then it creates some places in a lowland, okay? And then again it stored that minerals on a particular place, and then it create another mountain. This is actually called block mountain, okay? When the river is flowing and it's just carrying away the minerals from the rocks and soil, and then suddenly it creates a very deep land, and somehow somewhere it creates a very high land. This kind of mountains are called block mountains, okay? So one example of block mountain, can anyone tell? You can give it in the comment section. Now today I am going to end this class. See, today's topic we learned about the landforms of the earth, how the landforms form, what is the reason behind it, and which type of landforms are there. And after that, today our main topic was to know about the mountains, right? How much the mountains are important in our life, I have already discussed about it. And there is also the things that different kind of mountains formed, how it formed, and the examples, okay? So I hope everything is clear to you, and if any doubt is there, then you can ask me. I'm ending the class right now. Thank you.
वॉचिंग द वीडियो। आई होप आप सभी लोगों का ये वीडियो बहुत पसंद आया होगा। अगर पसंद आया तो वीडियो को कर दो लाइक, चैनल को कर दो सब्सक्राइब, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ इस वीडियो को शेयर करो, एंड कमेंट बॉक्स पे अपना डाउट्स बोलो, ताकि हम लोग नए वीडियोस बना के आपके डाउट्स को क्लियर कर सकें। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में।